Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman, and I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sitdown. I've had a week. You know what I mean? I literally just posted my reactions to episode 4 of this show. If you want to see those, you can see them up there. But now we've got to turn our attention to the Days episode. I can't believe it took me a whole week to get to it. I've just been weird. Work is about to get even crazier for the next few weeks. So who knows how my life is going to operate. But I'm sure as hell going to make sure that I'm locked in for the finale next week. And that this week hopefully gets up way before next week's episode. What am I talking about? Why don't you pull up a chair, take a seat. We are getting ready to take a watch and dive in spoiler filled into Secret Invasion episode 5 Harvest. And I gotta tell you, I think I got to knock down last week's score to about a 4. It's one of these things, you guys know me, especially right out of the theater or right after I watch something or while I'm watching something, I get really immersed, specifically like in the things I'm a massive fan of. And that was definitely the case last week. And don't get me wrong, last week was another stellar episode. I mean, the writing pretty much across the board throughout all of this show has been stellar. But last week, considering it was the shortest episode of the season, something I wasn't even paying attention to when I put it on last week, I really did think it packed a punch, I mean, we found out Rhodey was a Skrull, or at least confirmed Rhodey was a Skrull. My slow ass did not see that coming, even though I probably should have. But, like I said, found out he was a Skrull. We found out that, indeed, Gravik has taken at least 2 of the 4 superpowers, as we saw him Groot activate with his arm, something I had called the minute, you were saying, like, oh, if you're going to do Groot things, that's like your Mr. Fantastic, like, get that stretchy arm action going. So that was kind of cool. We also saw Gravik try to take out the president, which didn't necessarily go too well because Fury and Talos saved the president, but Gravik, for the 3rd time in 4 episodes, and this is another reason why I'm knocking it down a peg to 4. In the moment, like, they killed Talos, and I was like, son of a bitch. Like, I was just so caught up in that, I didn't think, like, this is the 3rd time that we've seen Gravik theoretically kill one of our characters. To this point, I think the only one that's definitely confirmed is Maria, as they brought her back to the States, and for a burial, so that happened. Talos looked pretty damn dead last week. I don't really know how he could come back from that because he don't have the superpowers his daughter Gaia gave herself, which we found out at the top of last week. One of those things where, corrected the thing that looked bad at the end of episode 3, which was fridging a second female character that I think everybody was very excited to see in this show, but haven't really had a chance to see them sink their teeth fully in. So it was good to see Emilia Clarke's Gaia was alive, because she had infused herself with some Super Skrull serum. Did she only give herself the extremis, piece of that 4, or did she charge herself up the same way that we've seen Gravik, like I said, so far with 2 of the 4? I don't know. I don't know if she knew what she was grabbing or what she was doing when she threw it in there. I think she just was moving quick. But, yeah, maybe she did it the same way as Gravik. We will see. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to this week and next week, is exactly what other powers, if any, do Gravik and Gaia have. But all of that stuff was really great on the overall as far as like narrative goes. I mean, the stakes are high every episode, and Fury is starting to see that he is losing people left and right. And that was the other piece of last week's episode that I really enjoyed, and honestly thought it was some of the most beautiful writing we've probably gotten from the MCU. All the interactions with Fury and Priscilla last week were just top-notch stuff, man. I mean, the performances on both ends were great, and the writing, the use of that poem, that stuff just really hit, and it gave, some more depth to Fury, things we haven't seen from him yet cross him. And that's that, you know what I mean? That was a really nice back and forth. I really loved how they opened the show with, stuff from them in 2012, and then brought that stuff back for the conversation that they had last week. So it was a short episode, and it's one of those where the first 2 episodes we were talking about how it really felt, even the 3rd episode, which was only 44 minutes, with credits. Like, we were talking about how they were kind of setting things up and knocking things off. And last week didn't necessarily feel, especially in rewatching, that it did that as much as the first 3 weeks. And I don't love that I'm only seeing 39 minutes on this episode here, Harvest. I don't know why Marvel does this to itself. Like, if network television can be like, you have an hour that you have to fill, minus the commercials, so it's usually like somewhere between 45 and 50 minutes, you gotta fill it. And it'd be one thing if we get to the end of the show and everything feels like it's wrapped up, tied up, we got everything we wanted from all the situations and different things that happened. Okay, but if you get to the end of the series and it feels like there was stuff left on the table that wasn't addressed or looked at, I don't understand why you can't keep these shows at 55 minutes every week. But, like I said, that being said, in a 38-minute episode, minus credits, you did pack a punch, and set up some more good stuff. And just the term harvest has me wondering what kind of sci-fi horror things will we be leaning into this week? And is that a harvest of mankind? Or because it doesn't really feel like they need to harvest mankind for anything unless they're gonna try to turn humans into slaves. I don't know. But the synopsis says Fury gathers his allies, which he certainly needs to gather because they are dropping left and right around him. And Gravik deals with unrest. And the other thing, man, I'm really fascinated to see where we go with Rhodes. And if we find out, how long has Rhodes been a Skrull? And how will that play into Iron Wars, right? I said that last week. We've got that movie coming out. And you assume that will... Well, not assume. I'm pretty sure, both him and Riri... Well, obviously, he is in the movie. I believe Riri will be in it. And I think there's an assumption that maybe Downey shows up in some way come that movie. And maybe that's why it moved from a series to a movie. There's been all sorts of crazy rumors. I genuinely don't think we're going to see Chris Evans or Downey back until we get to an actual Avengers movie. With the multiverse, maybe you see a cameo for them. But I think it's more likely that we see Evans show up in Deadpool 3 as Johnny Storm than actually seeing Cap come back before, at least the Secret Wars, hits. So, nevertheless, I feel like I'm getting sidetracked. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get the episode up. Let's take a watch of episode 5 of Secret Invasion, Harvest. And we going. Previously on.
What kind of machine?
I think it's to make us stronger. Now, at the council meeting, I told you I had a plan for taking Earth as our own. The heroes of Earth.
Oh, I guess we could see Gravik maybe soup up a bunch of Super Skrull. Have a army of Super Skrull. Maybe we get into that this week. But again, I feel like we're now starting to get to a spot where we have a lot of stuff to maybe address or build for things that are coming, and I feel like we're running out of time.
They'll be coming for you.
I'm dealing with my own infiltration at the moment.
And yeah, that's the other thing that kind of knocks episode 4 down a little bit for me too. No Olivia Colman. I need Olivia Colman back in this show. Anytime she shows up, it's big. And the brutality again, man. He shot Gravik clean in the face. That shot was fantastic and very comic book feeling. Ooh, I like the tone of this score right at the top while the Marvel credits are coming up.
Pounding blood transfusion. We've got a cooler waiting in the air.
That's the president.
Whatever you do not trust Colonel Rhodes.
The pulse is dropping. Let's go. Sir, do you have clearance? Then stay outside.
Ooh, man. Do I just saved that man's life? Fury is pissed. Oh, he gonna just sit outside? I like that. Ain't nobody getting to the president. But are there any Skrull in the hospital? You don't know. 1 million. That's spread out across the world. And, you could probably cover a lot of ground. especially if most are housed inside the States. And this kid. I'm interested to see how he starts to get used more.
Assemble the operatives.
Also coming this week will be the Bob Marley trailer reaction. I finally watched that. Kingsley Benadir, yo. This dude, keep your eyes peeled, because anything he does, should be watching.
Dead? Our target was the president, and he's still alive. No, but what we know is our war is yet to be set in motion. And if you'd have stolen what you were supposed to, I could have taken out the convoy single-handed.
But would you?
Ooh. What was he supposed to...
You had another chance to kill Fury today, and you didn't take it.
Because he has what we need.
Explain it to us. You told me Fury hid the Avengers' DNA, but it wasn't in any of the locations you provided.
Oh, so they were going for the Avengers.
Me start to wonder, why shouldn't we?
Oh, snap! I was wondering why this guy was looking so suspect, but he raised good points and then dropped to the ground.
None of you do. You're faceless. And you're nameless.
Oh.
Fury was on that motorway. It was because his traitor wife defied my direct order. You understand? Well, then you send some of our people to Vara's house and kill her.
It's one of those power moves where, like, I think he snapped, he recovered, I think, quite well, but you're gonna shake the confidence of people who aren't 100% behind what you're doing. But fascinating that they were going after Avenger DNA and that Fury might have that somewhere.
Where are you?
On my way to the hospital.
Change of plans. Keep Ritson alive. Make sure he knows it wasn't just the Russians who did this. The Russians with the help of Skrulls.
What?
What?
Show him satellite footage of new Skrulls. Prove to him there are Skrulls living here in Russia and that they must all be eliminated.
Yo.
This is leverage, Rava. Fury doesn't want to see World War III or to see innocent Skrulls die.
And if we don't get what we want?
Well, then we all do what we've prepared for. Sacrifice.
Huh. It's the first time that I think we've truly seen Gravik rattled.
Damn, people just giving out classified information. Lock this whole place down right now.
Like I said, seeing him rattled. Yeah. Get him, Fury.
Do something. I dare you.
Stand down. Stand down. Fury's just very excited to see me. Listen, the country appreciates your service to the president tonight, but I'm here now. You can go.
You must be out of your Skrull ass mind. You think I'm gonna let you get anywhere near the...
Yeah.
Well, in order to out me,
You're gonna have to kill me.
you're gonna have to kill me.
And you're gonna get...
And you don't want to kill me because you're not ready to die. Being as I'm not one to pull a gun and not use it, let me give you a little heads up. In about 60 seconds, the footage of you killing Maria Hill is gonna lead off every news program all across the hemisphere. That's right. Most wanted and hated man on the planet.
You didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did. I really...
Oh, that's not good.
So tick-tock, Nick.
This is a...
Consider this a preview, Nick. Because if you ever get within 100 yards of the president again, I'm gonna make sure you get the whole show.
Tell Gravik I'm coming for him.
Yeah.
Tell him yourself.
Man, I was a strong open, that's for sure. But like I was saying, we haven't really seen Gravik rattled at all. And I don't think he chose maybe the best course of response. And certainly with now, like, just, like, suddenly changing gears and going, like, we're gonna tell the president that Skrull were involved, like... That's that thing where... when you react, and we haven't really ever seen him react. He usually composes and, you know, goes about. Like, his plan's been pretty much going how he wants. Outside of Gaia being alive, but he doesn't know that. But kind of seeing him react and react in a way that could put Skrull in danger and, you know, kind of question some of his leadership. But when you see a, you know, dude do a Groot to a person, you know, that also instills some of that fear where it's like, would you try to cross him? And now that raises the question for me of, do you actually let any of the other Super Skrull have more than one power? I would assume Gravik would want to make sure that he's the most powerful of whatever Super Skrull they make. So I'll be interested to see how they play with that. But Bradstreet is, I think, doing an excellent job with the writing. And I really like what Elise Salim has done behind the camera. I'm starting to get nervous that, like, we're not getting as much as we could to really enhance this show, because it feels like minutes are being left on the board. But let's see what happens with episode 5. London. Are we back in time, or are we just going to see Olivia? Alright, cool. That guy.
As officials investigate Fury's possible involvement in the failed attempt on President Ritson's life.
Sonya Falsworth here to see you, sir.
Tell her I'm busy.
Thank God. Need Olivia Colman.
Good afternoon, Sonya. Have you heard about this?
Oh, the attack on Ritson? No, do go on.
Do you really believe that Skrulls could be amongst us?
Well, if you ask me, sir, I think they're bloody
Yep.
everywhere.
Boom. Oh, I thought she might have just pulled the trigger right away.
Politely asking the location of Dr. Rosa Dalton.
Have you lost your mind, woman?
Does not waste time, that's for sure.
Just showing Director Weatherby's true colours. Come and look at that.
That's...
I must inform you that the SIS has no official policy on killing Skrulls, so unless you want me to enact my personal preference right now, you should start talking.
I love her so much! We need Sonya around for things in the MCU, I think.
I was just a little confused.
There we go.
What are you confused about?
This kid.
Well, Pagan, he failed us. You scared? Yeah, maybe a little. Speak.
He's out of surgery. Once he's awake, I'll send confirmation of the strike.
Because you know what happens if you don't, right?
Oh, snap! That was, you know what I mean? Like, overplayed his hand. But, let's see. We got 2 other powers we haven't seen used yet. Although, I don't... Can he not do anything if he's being suffocated? This is... no, here we go. Oh! Oh no, oh no, oh! Maybe he ain't gonna make any other Super Skrull after seeing some stunt like that. Still, only Gruten out, though.
I'm nothing but a monster.
Oh, this kid is not making it. Oh, man. I liked him. He done lost his mind. Can't blame him. Also, way more scary as a Skrull than as Kingsley Benadire. That was intense. And he, like, his just natural combat ability is... like, I don't know how Fury can take him out. Like, I think it's gonna come down to Gaia versus Gravik. Fury be involved in some way, but I feel like we're gonna see Fury take out Rhodes and find Rhodes, and we'll see Gaia probably take out Gravik. Although I hope they don't kill Gravik. Yes, this is a combo I'm excited for, but also, like, you know.
During World War II, Nazis practically destroyed this area. Afterwards, Brixton became a haven for immigrants from the West Indies.
Is that why you chose this place?
Path of struggle is steep. I feel a lot of strength on him. Talos did too. Talos died.
You can
of-
stop. He died.
Period.
On a foreign planet, on a foreign road. Nothing will come of it. I ran away from my father because I knew he would lose.
Talos chose the path of struggle. He did not lose. You cannot let grief paralyze you, Gaia. This is your time now.
Yeah.
Talos told me how you survived your execution.
I had no other choice.
What DNA did Gravik steal?
Here we go.
Only a few samples. Colobsidian, Flora Colossus. But he took those because he couldn't find what he was
Yeah, looking for the Avengers.
What was he looking for?
Something he called the Harvest.
That's what Harvest is.
I need to bury my father.
Take him to Priscilla. She'll know what to do. Oh, shit.
Is Priscilla the best place to go, though?
Gonna be alright, kid?
Don't worry about me. I'll put on a good face.
I think we're gonna see Gaia throw down, though, because if he's sending her to Priscilla, Priscilla's got a whole group of Skrull coming for her. She's the best.
Who would you like me to be? I'm staggeringly versatile. To give you a couple of examples, I'm very good at being your bestie. I'm also devilishly good at being not your bestie. It's really just a matter of taste. Cake or death.
God, she's so good.
Get out.
Ooh, this is quite the clerical error. Nigel, we're going to have someone in admin either fired or, shot, because this is becoming a bit of a health hazard.
No, my name's Victor.
No, of course you are. Nigel's the one with his silencer. Press.
Yo. She's so good.
You are breaking quite transgressive ground. Would you like to tell me all about it?
No, I work here as far as you
Not you, Dr. Dalton, you.
My work is very involved. It spans several different areas of focus.
Ah, well, let's focus on this, shall we?
What is that? Oh, yeah, the Super Skrull chamber.
Start from the very beginning and don't miss out a damn decimal point.
Oh, Rose, it really is a lovely laboratory. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to torch it.
Can we just put, not even Olivia Colman, just put Sonya in it, this character in everything.
Gravik, let us go or I'll kill her.
Oh, I don't doubt you for a moment. The males in my species are very similar. If they're not busy gaslighting you, they're threatening you with murder. That's what all the podcasts are about.
Can't hesitate. Oh man, how did I find his? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. But I think this place is about to get jacked by Skrull. Maybe that already happened. Come on, you got some superpowers? Yeah.
Professor Davis?
Must be nice going into a place knowing, like, you got some super healing ability. You can take a bullet. Again, I don't think we've talked enough about the score. This score is so good every episode. Alright, cool.
You're the one he sent to kill me?
No.
I'm Gaia. Theory said you could help me bury my father.
How long till somebody does show up?
How you feeling, Mr.
Boy, here we go.
As you no doubt saw with your own eyes, these Skrulls aided in that attack. Now, of course, the Russians are denying this, but we've received corroborating evidence from Sonya Fallsworth at SIS.
Maybe it's not a not smart play by Gravik.
That's Russian soil. We have to neutralize this facility. England is 100% behind us, and as soon as the rest of NATO sees this proof, they're going to be on board too.
That means World War III.
We have to cut this thing off at the head.
I hope that he was conscious enough when Fury said don't trust Rhodes.
I was wondering when you were gonna call.
We like to think you're a step ahead.
Game on.
Oh, you're a jet, man. I need rocket fuel to stay ahead.
I got a deal for you.
Got anything to do with the harvest?
Bring it to me in person. I'll call the whole thing off. If I don't get what I want, your president's gonna bomb New Skrull. And bring some iodide pills. The reactor room can be touch aggressive.
Starting to become a chess game again.
He deserves a procession of mourners.
Talos wasn't much for pageantry.
I don't know the prayer.
I know it.
Brad bringing back some throne type memories for Amelia Clark.
Neska khizi meshma nusi khiyo kesha spo sujanosa klubin shush scrollos.
One York.
Travel well to your beyond, Father. I like that they didn't subtitle the prayer. That felt right.
I told him he was a failure. What kind of daughter says that to her father?
The kind that intends to make it up to him the next time she... The last thing I said to Fury before the snap was if you keep spending all your time chasing aliens, you might lose the one you marry.
Huh. Well, come on, when is the Skrull gonna show up? I need some action.
Why does Gravik want to kill you?
Insubordination, I guess.
And yet you decided to obey the order that says you have to wait around here for your execution.
The thing is, I love this house. But I figured if I was going to give it a fighting chance, I'd need to find a place that offered the 3 things he valued most.
But still there.
Lots of security and lots of leather.
Lots of leather.
He'd sit there by the window, reading a book, letting the sun kiss his skin. And I'd get lost just watching him like that for hours.
He ever get lost watching you in your own skin?
Ooh.
That's none of your business.
I didn't mean to offend.
Of course you did. You're young. You think you know everything. But you don't know what it takes to build a life with someone else, to sustain it. When it comes to facing down my executioners, I'd rather meet the bastard standing right here in my happiness than running down some dark alley.
Oh! The instinct to fight back really kicks in when people start shooting. Oh my. Not messing around.
You good? Good.
I just want to see friggin' Gaia go off, yo. I like how the backpacks held guns and, like, bulletproof vests. That was kind of cool. Get him! I get the score. I gotta look up who's composing here. Just crushing. Oh no! Atta girl. Come on, Gaia. Badass, son. Need a little bit of that. Guess we're gonna save Gaia using her powers outside of the extremis for the finale. Who's this guy? This guy don't look suspect at all. Oh, is it? Oh, is that Fury? No. Is it? We doing some Mission Impossible, like, mask work over here? Yo, tell me we're about to get a Mission Impossible oh, man. Honestly, the like, rubber mask pull-off is more satisfying than
Let me check I
that.
understand this. So, $1 billion of research and development, and all the Widow's Veil can cloak is your face. What about the rest of you?
That's the newer version, not this one.
Never mind.
Widow's Veil. Yo!
Absolutely what we're doing. Seatbelt, please.
Oh, man. Yo, I can't get enough, man. I can't get enough. Give me all the Sonya. Fury's face. Where's she headed? 294 kilometers from the Russian border.
He asked for corroboration on the new Skrull site.
And you gave it to him?
Yes, Fury. In the absence of my scaled superior, I'm the new head of SIS. And last I checked, Britain and the US were allies.
Well, last I checked, Rhodey is a Skrull.
She didn't know.
And you said I'd lost my knowledge.
It's the first misstep we've seen from her.
If I don't give Gravik the harvest, then Rhodey is going to incinerate the Skrull compound, including all the Skrulls and humans trapped inside. Russia will retaliate, and the world loses its mind.
The harvest?
Nearly every Avenger spilled blood in the battle.
Oh my god, Fury.
In the aftermath, some were sent in to collect that DNA.
Oh my god.
Some with the ability to blend in. Nobody knew about them, but me and the collectors, led by...
Grab.
Oh my god.
So you are responsible for all this?
Yeah. Why do you think I came back?
Dude, this adaptation, though, I really am digging what Bradstreet has done, man. Like, even bringing in the superhero DNA, like having that be the brainchild for Gravik's plan.
Scandinavian cemetery. Should have brought my son.
Greater love hath no man than this.
Why haven't you called any of your special friends down?
This is personal. We can't keep depending on these superheroes to swoop in and save our ass. None of them have lived the life I have. None of them can defend the world the way I can.
Love that.
The only power I have, planted between my ears by a single mother and wrapped around my finger by a woman, is far greater than I could ever hope to be.
Hmm.
If that ain't enough, then I don't know what hope we have. If that ain't enough, maybe I am just dust.
Hmm. That was so Fury.
Oh, I got these all over the place. You know, dead men need options.
Also very Fury.
Priscilla and I honeymooned here. Skrulls like the cold.
You married one?
Now you understand.
Ooh. That's fat. I don't know if I've ever seen a like a blow test to open a thing. That was kind of cool.
You knew how dangerous this vial was, so swapped its location to protect it from Gravik, and now you're going to give it to him.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
They do say Darwin never sleeps. Let's give our extinction a nice leg up.
What are you up to, Fury? I guess you're trying to stop World War III. What we got in here? Give me some classic Fury looks. Yeah. Eye patch. Hell yeah. Let's go. Gonna keep the skull cap though. I respect that. Give me some classic Fury vibes, baby.
It's time. Let's finish this.
Who's he calling? He's not calling an Avenger. Who's, or maybe he was, again, why do we keep saying special guest star? Kobe Smulders, it drives me nuts every week they do it. I guess he could have been calling Gaia there. It's one of these things. It's so strange, right? Like I was saying, like network television can fill an hour all the time, you know, and even non-network television, right? HBO, doesn't function the same way. No commercials or anything like that. Hour, we fill it. We go more than an hour a lot of times. But in like the context of the episode, like when I'm watching, I feel like it comes to a natural conclusion. The second watch last week, I really felt like it was short, you know? But like this one, like I felt like they did a lot, but I also feel like there's still a lot left on the table. Although I guess by Fury doing what Fury's doing, you kind of condense all that into we can just make whatever move we're gonna make when he confronts Gravik head on. But yeah, I'm fascinated to see like where we go with the finale. I'm fascinated by the idea of Fury like doing some Tony Stark level shit out here, right? Like what, why in God's name would you go and collect DNA of superheroes with Skrull? Besides at all, right? Like what do we have cloning technology that we haven't been told about in the MCU? Like I don't know for what purpose you would ever want to collect that DNA. I mean, maybe I'm just like a little jaded, you know, from reading all of the comics that I've read. Like it's just such an obvious thing that would lead to terrible things in the comic book world. But I don't like unless there is cloning tech or that's something that Fury was working towards. I don't necessarily know why you would leave something like that out there in a way that like if Gravik gets his hands on that, it's gonna be bad. You know what I mean? But as I said, I think the adaptation that we're getting from Bradstreet is quite fascinating, and how he's threaded the superhero thread throughout the whole first five episodes. It's kind of cool, you know what I mean? Like we're not swapping out heroes, but the idea of getting superhero powers for Super Skrull, referencing the concept of swapping out superheroes, like all that stuff is just really cool, and that's why like in the episodes I'm like just so glued to the screen. I'm completely engaged with what's going on, and the dialogue just continues to be some of the best that we've gotten in the MCU, even when it's a small conversation. You know, I mean, some of the back and forths that you get with some of these characters, like that Gaia and Fury conversation was wonderful, and I love how, you know, Bradstreet, especially, you know, for Fury, is able to weave in so many historical elements, you know, that don't necessarily just speak to, you know, African Americans, but like to anyone that's gone through the struggle. You know, I like that whole setup and that whole delivery of that conversation on like why Fury picked that place. And it's, you know, it's one of those where it's like a lot of people have struggled, you know, and gone through the struggle. And I like the way that they utilized that there, and it felt very, very true to Nick Fury. And I felt like we got a lot of true to form Nick Fury stuff, specifically that conversation with Sonya. You know, like you just getting Fury, or maybe some of it with Gaia too, like just like real natural Fury type things. But as I said, interesting to see him be like the cause of all the potential. Well, not all the potential, all of the things that are going on right now. Like that, it's a very Tony Stark kind of thing to do, and with no Tony Stark around, you know, I think it makes sense. And if I'm being completely honest, I mean, no matter where you land on the episode by episode or the show overall, like it's been so enjoyable to watch Samuel L. Jackson really get into the Nick Fury character. You know, like there's a lot of times where Fury pops up in these movies and shows and places, and it feels, you know, like Samuel L. Jackson's showing up, you know, when he's getting those quick bursts. And then anytime that he really can sink his teeth into things, I really do and always have felt that he is very true to form for Nick Fury. But getting to watch him in Captain Marvel was one spot where you really started to kind of really feel him and that the character blending in a way that was more intense than any of the other appearances he had had. This is doing that, and even more so because he's getting so much more screen time. I wish he was getting even more screen time than they're giving us. But what he is doing anytime he is on screen, he's not capitalizing, and he is not delivering. He is not delivering top-end stuff. I mean, everything that Samuel Jackson does is top-end, let's be real. But I really think like you're getting some of the best Nick Fury that he's ever had, because he's got a chance to sink into material that's giving Fury so much more depth as a character. And whether it's him realizing his own missteps in moments like Maria or Talos, where you see that legit fear on his face, to him feeling like he's got the upper hand on somebody and kind of getting back into that Nick Fury vibe. I mean, very much, like, I love that, like, as you saw him kind of getting his footing again, out comes the trench coat, out comes the eye patch. It's almost like Fury hasn't felt like himself this whole time since the blip. And now maybe he feels like he's back. Like, I love how he's able to fluctuate like that, even though, you know, he's suffered a lot of loss, and he does not have the upper hand. You know, it's one of those, I'm fascinated to see how they play with that and what they do with that next week. And I really hope that we get like a full hour long, if not more, man, like shit, get crazy, Marvel. Give me like a 90-minute finale next week. That's asking a lot from the MCU on Disney Plus, but an hour, I feel like an hour is reasonable, and I think in an hour you could tie up and hit all the things that I want to see them hit. But I love getting Fury's back against the wall and how he's responded. I also like watching Gravik with his back against the wall, because it very much felt like he was reacting halfway through that episode, and the reaction just seemed like, man, you just did one thing that maybe wasn't super smart. Now you're doing another thing right off the heels of that doesn't seem to maybe be the smartest move. Like, let's tell America that this is here and have them nuke our site, like, and kill Skrull. Because that's the one thing I've said from jump. Gravik hasn't really been about killing Skrull. Doesn't really want to do that. And that changes in this episode. Maybe changes the moment that he kills Talos. Like, something has snapped, has broken. It could be all of those. Getting shot in the face by a Fury. That can't feel good, even if you recover from it. That's gonna leave a little bit of a wound. But like to see what felt like an overreaction by the end of the episode be a very calculated and smart last play, right? Like, if you've got your back against the wall, you don't know what necessarily the next move is, because now you aren't so far ahead. Doing what Gravik is doing is going to launch World War III, or at the very least, make World War III such a real possibility that Fury actually contemplates giving him the harvest. The writing's so good. It's so good. But the direct, like, Salim has also been fantastic. How he's carried the show. It's got over a $200 million budget from what I've read in places, and you can see it because the show looks freaking gorgeous. But that is another thing too that I kind of like want to like quick tangent over here. These studios gotta get these budgets under control, man, because like this is like, wow, this thing looks phenomenal. I would never have guessed over $200 million for this budget. You see Indiana Jones pushing like $250, and like some of the like the budgets that we're hearing on these movies is crazy. And then I haven't watched the official trailer yet. That dropped, I think, yesterday. I saw the teaser in front of Indiana Jones, though, for this movie. The creator looks unreal. Like a massive sci-fi spectacle. And like the visual effects in the trailer, at least in the teaser, which I saw on the big screen, like this thing looks unreal. I heard that the budget was under $100 million. I gotta dive into that some more and confirm that. But if the budget for the creator is indeed under $100 million, somebody's got to explain to me where all this money is going. Because, like, good golly me, I think the budget on these movies is, negatively impacting some of these box offices and the way that we look at some of these films. And it's I don't know, man. It's just crazy to me. That being said, it looks phenomenal. I think what Salim's doing from behind the camera and he's building such a fantastic espionage thriller. You know what I mean? I mean, there are times where like I feel like I'm in a Mission Impossible like zone, and that's like, for me, that's like peak when you get into spy thriller stuff. And this feels like it's right there. And then the freaking score, dude. Like I've got to look up. Hold on, we're gonna pause. I've seen some things that the composer's done. The composer here is Chris Bowers. He scored Green Book, King Richard. He did some work for Bridgerton. He did Chevalier, which I've heard of, but I have not seen. So there's a bunch of things in here that I definitely am familiar with. But he's also doing The Haunted Mansion, which I heard is actually legitimately scary. And considering that the dude that's scoring this is scoring that, I can see very much how like that's gonna be a lot of that's gonna be a real fun, scary time. That's exciting. But Chris Bowers, dude, this whole series so far has just absolutely crushed. I mean, this is such a top end score, and it just puts you exactly in that zone. Like if the writing or what Salim's doing behind the camera is not making you feel like you were watching a spy thriller, man, does the score do it. And the last two episodes, the open score has been unbelievable. Like the minute you started to hear the opening while the Marvel like logo is coming up, locked in, where it's like what uneasy thing is about to go down right now, and that stuff's really working for me. So let's get the Sea Maniacs up. I think I've tempered my expectations a little bit, and with some of the realizations after rewatching last week's episode. I can see here, like this again, very, very tight, very well executed with what we got. I'm just starting to question if we're gonna come up short a little bit, where it's like it felt like we needed a few more minutes for certain things. But I gotta give it credit. Like, in the context of the episode, it feels like it comes to a natural end. It doesn't feel, same the last week, didn't feel like it was cut off. And what we're getting inside the episode, I mean, really great stuff for Nick Fury, and Samuel Jackson is just knocking that stuff out of the ballpark. Olivia Colman back this week. Oh my god, give me all the Sonya. She is just a breath of fresh air every time she's on screen. Like, I want to just put Sonya in every property known to mankind. Like, forget Marvel, man. Let's throw her in Mission Impossible. Let's throw her over to, like, John Wick. Just put Sonya in everything. It's such a wonderful character, and Olivia Colman's having so much fun with it. I'm still waiting to get, like, some real legit stuff for Emilia Clarke, but I am loving her performance. I think what she is doing, specifically body language-wise, has been very strong all season, and where her and Fury are, both of them, and Sonya, where the three of them are by the end of this episode, I'm just very intrigued to see where we go and how we build those things out next week. But I think you tee up next week pretty well with those characters. And then the graphic stuff, man, like I said, Bradstreet's been crushing on the writing, and like whether it's the adaptation stuff and like referencing the Avengers, then bringing in Avenger DNA for Super Skrull stuff, like that concept, great. And then like to kind of misdirect where it's like Gravik's finally got his back against the wall for the first time really in this show, to the point where like he gets jumped by his own people, and seeing him come out like yo Kingsley Ben-Adir is crushing it. But like Gravik from an action standpoint has been excellent, and I need like a long action sequence between him and Gaia. That finale better not be quick, because man, the choreography when Gravik has gone off has been great, and he is even more terrifying as a Skrull than as like Kingsley Ben-Adir, you know what I mean? But to see him with his back against the wall and feel like he was reacting and maybe jumping the gun or doing things because he's starting to lose control, which he absolutely is, you know, I mean, the way he kills his right-hand man, it's a bit of a kind of like in the moment reaction, which kind of makes you feel like telling the president everything might be the wrong move. But then you get to the end of the episode and you're like, nah, it's exactly what he wanted. Like, it's putting him exactly where he wants to be, and he's about to get the thing that he's really been after this whole time. I think all that stuff was really cool. So I'm gonna go 4 out of 5 Sea Maniacs again this week. I think this show has just been rock solid. Like, outside of episode 2, which for me is still the best episode I think that we've gotten thus far, and that's my 4.5. It is just like a rock solid 4 across the board. Every episode has just got really tight writing. The score, like I said, what Chris Bowers has been doing is just fantastic stuff. It looks and feels like and it is a good crime espionage thriller, and I love that we're getting to see Samuel Jackson sink his teeth into Fury stuff. I really love that Kingsley Ben-Adir is gonna become far more well known as we approach that Bob Marley movie, which if you haven't seen that trailer, look out for my reaction. That's coming this week. But that trailer, that movie is gonna put that guy like a household name. You know what I mean? Bob Marley is something, like I said, that transcends a lot of cultural things. And I think a lot of people are gonna see that movie, and that dude, yo. So yeah, I mean, I've been in every week, and I think if anyone was falling out a little bit last week, while again this episode is a little short, I think what it's set up and how they pull you in this week should hopefully get everybody back like, yes, let's go. And I'm pumped for the finale, man. I want to see how they wrap this up, what it sets up for all of these characters going forward, and if or how this could lead into part of the Marvel's storyline. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna flip it over to you guys. I want to know what you're thinking. How much have you been enjoying Secret Invasion, or how much have you not been enjoying Secret Invasion? Has it fallen off for you the last few episodes, or do you feel like it's been just a rock steady kind of consistent show where it's like, I wish they were giving me a little bit more, but what they are giving me every week has been really, really solid, even if 3 of the 4 or 5 episodes has been Gravik killing one of our main characters right at the end. I'm really digging it, so I want to know what you guys are thinking. Anything you got, good, bad, indifferent, and spoiler-filled on Secret Invasion Episode 5, The Harvest. Put it down below in the comment section. I think it's just Harvest, not The Harvest, but The Harvest is the thing they're going after. Anyway, put it down below in the comment section. I look forward to talking to you down there. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you're new, you want to come hang out with the C-Man anytime we're talking movies, TV, trailer, reactions, you want to be here for our finale coverage next week, you want to see my thoughts coming up on Barbie and Oppenheimer. I got my Barbenheimer shirt ready. I ain't putting it on until I've survived Barbenheimer. But if you want to be here for all that, you want to show a little love and support, and you haven't, well, hey, come join C-Maniac Nation. Super easy. Jump over there, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell if you want those alerts. And until next time for the C-Man Cinema Sit Down, I've been the C-Man. I'm signing off. Peace.
Oh, you guys are still here. You snuck up on me. You must be looking for more of this guy. Well, I got 2 video options for you, man. Right up here and right over here. And if you want all those C-Man goodies, well, hey, come join the squad right on over there, and I'll catch you on the next one.